Hey everyone, what is going on? It's Wilson, and in this video, I want to talk about how to generate more leads for your agency, or if you're a consultant or freelancer, I'm going to teach you the best tips to generate more leads so that you can get more business and always fill up your pipeline. So, first tip of all time is to niche down. I've talked to a lot of agencies at Growth OK, and a lot of agencies that they come to us, they're like, hey, we're looking for leads to help us grow our digital agency, but but we don't know who we're targeting. And the first thing I would tell them is that, hey, before we even work together, before we even help you find qualified leads, you have to niche down and you have to find a market that you are most comfortable with and that you want to start targeting to generate more leads. So, first thing is that you just have to find a niche that you're already familiar with. One of the best ways to do that is by cloning your existing customer profile. So look at like your maybe you only have 5 customers, or maybe right now you have 10 customers. Look at those 10 customers and find out what do they have in common. Are they all e-commerce uh, people, like e-commerce companies that you're consulting? Are they people? Are they car dealerships? Are they real estate agents? What are they? The first thing to do is that just look at your top customers, the one that are paying you the most, and the most frequent ones that are coming to you right now for business, and set that as your initial target. Set that as your ideal customer profile. The next thing that you should do after you figure out what your ideal customer profile is, what that niche is to focus on marketing within that a specific sector and niche down. You don't want to go too big in the beginning because that's going to make things very difficult. And then what you want to do after that is just slowly expand and test other verticals after you have filled up your pipeline and you've created a successful way to consistently generate leads for that specific sector. So make sure you niche down and don't go too wide. The second tip that I would give to generate more leads is to use Quora, use groups, use forums to help you generate more leads. All you have to do is go to Quora.com. This works extremely well. I've grew my last 3 startups mainly through just content marketing and Quora, and this requires no like fees. You don't have to pay for advertisement. You don't have to pay for sponsorship. This is essentially like free traffic, right? So what you do is that you go to Quora.com and you look up topics that are related to your niche. People are always asking questions on how to solve these problems. All you have to do after that is contribute to like LinkedIn groups. Join LinkedIn groups that is relevant to your niche. So for example, if you're a digital marketing agency that caters to e-commerce companies, join all the e-commerce groups. Go to Facebook, look up those Facebook groups and other social networks such as Zing. Now, why did I mention Zing, even though it's not as popular for like the USA or the North America market? Because you have to get creative and you have to stand out the crowd. Quora used to be very effective in the beginning. Now it's less effective, but all you have to do is just spend like maybe 30 minutes a day answering questions relevant to your niche, and people will come to you. That's how you drive more inbound leads. Another place you can look at is clarity.fm, which is a place where they allow people to kind of book mentorships or schedule a time to with you to learn more about your services and how you can help them. There's a forum within clarity.fm where you can just go on it, and people are always asking questions. Find topics that are related to what you're able to offer as a service and answer those questions. Another place that you can look at is Slack groups, Telegram groups. Telegram is getting extremely famous right now, and there's a lot of groups that are just catered to every different type. There's fitness groups, there's crypto groups, there's e-commerce, there's marketing. Look for who you are marketing to, what that niche that you first determine, and then go and answer questions and provide help. Be everywhere, be omni-channel. The next tip is that leverage tools and services, automations to make your life easier. One of the things that you want to do when you're looking for a consistent tool and service is that you want to find a high quality and accurate lead source for your service. So you always want to look for quality over quantity. So we don't want to go big. Like for example, you don't want to buy a list, an email list of like 1,000 contacts when only maybe like 100 out of that 1,000 is accurate or actually qualified for your type of criteria. So make sure that you have a high quality and make sure that the lead source is accurate. We don't want any bounce emails. We don't want any wrong contact information. And that's why you have to choose a good service that will provide you this consistent source of leads so you can always continue to fill up your pipeline. Always look for custom data points when you're looking for these lead generation tools. So what I mean by that is don't just get an email address with a first name and last name. Try, if you're using a managed service like us, for example, at Growth OK, we allow you to request any type of custom data points that will make your sales process easier, that will make your salespeople close more deals and reach out at a more personalized rate. So you might be looking for like the LinkedIn profile link as well, or maybe like a press mention that they recently were involved in, or maybe a podcast interview or something like that to make your outreach much more relevant. So definitely use tools or a managed service to help you generate more leads, but make sure that they do provide you with the high quality and accurate information that you need. Every business is different. Every agency needs a different type of custom data point depending on the services that you offer. Maybe it's a certain amount of ad spend to fit that criteria, but make sure that you do have these in mind. Another great tool is, I always talk about this. I even made a video on this. How to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to generate more leads. You can use us at Growth OK and we'll provide you with highly accurate and targeted leads. You can use ZoomInfo, you can use Discover Orgs. There's a ton of service out there, but pick one that works for you and go for quality over quantity. The next tip is take advantage of reseller programs or you can white label your services. So what I mean by that is that you can leverage partnerships or other consultants within your niche to offer a channel program. So if you're an agency and you market to, you offer your services to e-commerce companies, look for e-commerce consultants. And how you can find these type of e-commerce consultants, use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, search on Twitter. You can maybe even Google for a bunch of people that they're just influencers and they offer consulting services, but maybe they just don't have the capacity to do all the work. So what you can do as an agency, especially if you have a team in-house, you can offer a white label service and you can reach out to them saying, hey, you can white label my service, my marketing service to these e-commerce companies, and that'll make your life a lot easier, and that'll be another source of leads that are coming in. So another way is that you want to look for partnership opportunities with similar service, but not the exact same thing. So we, in the situation where you're marketing an e-commerce company as a digital agency, if you're offering those type of services, look for dev shops that do Shopify, for example. They help people create Shopify websites, but they don't want to offer marketing or deal with marketing for their clients. So you guys can team up together and pretty much have like a channel program. Each time they get a lead or they get a project that has to do with helping somebody build the Shopify, afterwards you can take over and you would deal with the marketing. You help them market the product. It's a win-win for all parties. Another way is offer existing customers a referral commission. So you can start a channel program and tell your current customers that, hey, for every other customer that you refer, we'll give you 10% of the entire revenue that we get from them. That's a really great way to encourage word of mouth as well as to start your own referral program from just your existing list of customers. And all of these are pretty much free stuff that you can do without spending a dime. The next tip is that get in podcast interviews. This is so effective because people are always listening to podcasts all the time. All you have to do is come up with a list of popular podcasts within your chosen niche that you determined earlier, or the niche that you're catering to, and reach out to them saying, hey, I have a couple topics that I can go over with your podcast. I'm sure your audience will love it. Would you be interested in having me on as a guest? Send them a couple topics that you can cover that you're really good at, that you're really familiar with, and most of them, they would love to interview you, and that's like free press, free marketing, free exposure to their existing audience. And a lot of times, people don't see your first email, and it's the same thing with cold email outreach. Make sure you follow up and gain those brand exposure. Next tip would be take advantage of directory listings. So you can Google a list of directory sites for either agencies, or for example, if you're doing marketing for Shopify owners, the e-commerce platform, they have a marketplace where they allow you to list your business as an agency, as a freelancer, as a consultant to offer your services. Take advantage of those directories and list your service on there, because if I was a Shopify owner and I'm looking for outside help, I will go to a marketplace and I'll be searching things up. Another place for, especially for agencies, is use Clutch. That's a famous directory listing site that allows agencies to list their service and get reviews from it. So take advantage of all those type of directories, and you can even look for related niche kind of listings. For example, some Slack groups, they have like a little side note where there's a document that lists all the consultants within that specific niche. Of course, the next tip will be cold email outreach. This is my bread and butter, and this is what I use all the time for business development. Doesn't matter if you're looking for a job, looking to close more clients, or generate more leads, you want to take advantage of cold email outreach. You start off by building a list of target leads for a specific niche. You can do this by using one of those tools that I mentioned earlier, or you can use a managed service like us at Growth4K. And what we will do is that, for example, you're targeting Shopify owners, you can come to us and you can tell us, hey, I'm looking for Shopify shops that generate more than 1 million annual revenue and already spending more than $2,000 a month on ads. You tell us that and we'll find you that list of targeted leads that you can write cold emails and outreach to. Make sure that you send personalized outreach to the decision maker that you're looking for. Now, at an enterprise company, if you're selling to enterprise, the decision maker is very different from a startup that only has like 20 people. So make sure you determine your correct decision maker. And again, this goes back to probably cloning your existing customer profile and seeing who is usually the one that's in charge of making the payments and who you're using in contact with. And make sure with email outreach, you always follow up to those that don't respond. Sometimes we have to follow up with some of our prospects for up to 8 times before they even respond, or we even get them to move to the next steps. But make sure you always follow up. Well, those are my tips. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Check out growth4k.com if you're looking for highly qualified and targeted sales leads, or you need to enrich one of your databases of old leads. Just send the list over to us and we'll do all the heavy lifting for you. You can always follow me on Twitter at @iswilson8, and thanks for watching.